Hi, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Kit.
Welcome to Storytime,
Asterisms edition.
where stars plus lines equal stories.
With an asterisk.
In these episodes, we explore ideas, concepts, or people that didn't make it into our main show, or just something that we want to focus in on or talk about a little bit more.
Yeah, so in today's episode, we're going to continue thematically with our discussion of Io and Zeus with a detour into Creature Corner, all about cows.
All about cows, exactly. Cattle, bulls, their various ancestors, Aurochs, Zebu. This is their week.
Can't wait.
Alright, Kit, before we get started, can you tell me how much you know already off the top of your head about bovines, cows, etc.?
So, we grew up in our early days next
Mm-hmm.
to a dairy farm in rural New Hampshire, as you know, because
Mm-hmm.
you were there. So I know I like cows, and I'm not really a cow expert though. I did have a friend in college who was the first time they came to see us in New Hampshire. They saw a cow and they were like, "Wow, cows are so big." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And they were like, "I thought cows were like the size of dogs." And I was like, "Oh no, no,
Oh, no, no, no,
no,
no,
no."
no.
So here's what I do know about cows: they're bigger
Yeah,
than a dog,
bigger than a dog, smaller than an elephant,
right?
generally.
Um, they're often black and white, but they can also be other colors.
How many breeds of cows do you think exist?
Oh, like domesticated cows?
Yeah, I'll give you. Well, I'll put the over under at 100.
I think there are under 100. I feel like we've probably killed a lot of.
The opposite. I have great news for you. We have over 800 different breeds of cows
Oh,
currently.
that's a lot of cows.
Domesticated cows, yes.
I also know about cows that they have multiple stomachs.
Yep.
It's somewhere between 2 and 6, I think.
Right in between. Perfect.
Great.
It's four, but yep. So
Okay,
between two
good.
and six, accurate. Yeah, and we'll
Right.
talk about those a little bit soon. Okay.
Great. I also know they eat alfalfa.
How did you learn that, may I ask?
So, Bop, my
Hmm.
partner, studies alfalfa. So, and I know that cows eat it. I also know as a result, well, not as a result of this, but in general, that cows produce dairy milk and other dairy products.
Perfect. And also that some humans may be allergic to these products.
Yes. Yes.
Great.
And,
So to
d-
summarize, a
yeah,
cow is bigger than a dog,
yeah,
can be black and white, but
right,
can be other colors.
right.
Comes in between 100 or less to 800 or more different breeds, and produces something called dairy, and eats alfalfa. Did I get that right? Is that pretty much what you know so
Um,
far?
the other thing I know, one other thing is that well, actually, I'm not really sure about this one.
Great.
That I think that dairy, like the dairy industry, contributes like a lot of like gas, like greenhouse gases. I think they're a big contributor to greenhouse gases. Is that
Do you
true?
know? Yeah, of course. Can you guess which gas in
It's
particular?
it's methane, I think, right?
Oh, it's methane, all
Okay,
right. That
that's what I know.
right back to Neptutes themselves. We got our own little
Neptune.
Neptutes here on Earth, thanks to the
Neptune.
cows.
So yeah, that's what I know about cows. I know that you did the cow research. Yeah, what do you think I should know about cows to be a better, nature enthusiast and cow supporter? What do I need to know?
So let's go all the way back first.
Okay.
We have to go to the late Miocene, which is between about 22 to 5 million years ago. And that's when we first see the first living cow species evolve. Cows and their relationships with humans first started out, some people say, in the Himalayas in India, some people say
Hmm.
in Turkey, right around that area between Europe and Far East Asia.
Mm-hmm.
We know that humans started domesticating cows approximately 11,000 years ago. A
Hmm.
second subspecies, which is called the zebu, were later domesticated in a whole different event 7,000 years ago. So cows have been domesticated twice in different parts of the world.
Hmm.
And they're all domesticated from an animal called the auroch. which is like a bigger, sturdier version of the modern cow that went extinct around 1627 due to overhunting and habitat loss. But their genes live on in a number of descendants.
Well, see,
Water buffalo.
I knew that we extinct some kinds of cows. I knew it.
You're absolutely right. Yes. So in the past 500 years, we have eliminated their key ancestor and spread into a whole bunch of different subbreeds in the
Hmm.
domestication process. But my second fact ties back in with the myth of Io itself.
Hmm.
I have great news for you, which is that scientists have successfully mapped out the bovine genome
Mm-hmm.
in the year 2009,
Yep.
and they have discovered that cattle have about 22,000 genes.
Wow.
80% of these genes are shared with humans.
Hmm.
So even without Hera having to do any trickery wickery, Io was already pretty much 8/10 a cow already. And so are you, so are me.
Oh, Bop is gonna really have some thoughts about that interpretation of genetic
My
material.
third fact is not only are cows 80% people with no need for
Right.
nuance or subtlety beyond
Uh-huh.
that,
Right.
cows also, and in Io's case, this would have been very helpful, have the same gestation period as humans
Mm-hmm.
at 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm trying to say here is that Hera, transforming Io into this heifer, into this cow, into these cattle, you know, it's not quite as perverse or as strange or as weird as you would think on the surface.
Hmm.
Next time you look at a cow, I think you can start making some connections between your experience and its. The oldest living cow, which is the fourth fact I'm going to give you,
Mm-hmm.
lived to be 48 years old.
Wow.
Yes. Most
When
cat
was this? Do you know when it died?
Oh yes, I do. I know the name and the dates.
Oh, yes, tell me.
So the typical cow on a farm may only live to 2 to 5 years.
Oh.
Yeah. They can have an average lifespan if they're not being used for food of about 18 to 22 years.
Mm-hmm.
But the 48-year record, and she was born on St. Patrick's Day, 1945, March 17th, 1945, and she died on the last day of 1993,
Wow.
December 31st, 1993, was a cow by the name of Big Bertha. And because of Big Bertha's
Uh,
world record breaking status, she was somewhat of a local celebrity.
right.
And her appearance at cattle fairs, well, she raised over $70,000, which was
Wow.
donated for cancer research and other
Oh.
charities.
Big
So not only
Bertha.
So not only are cows have the same gestation period as us and 80% of the same genes, but also they have the inclination for philanthropy and to help others.
Well, it's interesting. 48's interesting because, like, right, like life expectancy in the 1940s was around like 60 or 65. So she's like living as long as, like, that's a pretty long life. Wow.
She had a rich life, raised a lot of money
Wow.
for good causes.
Mm.
The last fact I want to give you here is an important one
Mm-hmm.
because I've been working really hard to show you the ways in which humans and cows are similar.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, as you stated with the stomach, there are some key differences.
Mm-hmm.
The main stomach of a cow can hold up to 50 gallons of
Oh,
food.
wow.
To put that in perspective, a bathtub can usually hold between 30 to 50 gallons of food.
Wow.
And a cow will consume about 40 pounds of food every day.
Wow.
So yeah, they live a very different life than us in that sense.
Absolutely. Wow. I learned a ton of cow facts while we were talking. I was also looking at pictures of the Auroch.
Hmm.
There's a really cool, it looks like skeleton of one in the National Museum of Denmark. They look so cute. Um so ripped the Aurochs. But yeah, lots of good cow facts. Do you have any other ones that you want to
Yeah, there's
throw
also
out
those
there?
other great ones that are just kind of short. You
Mm-hmm.
might not know about cows. They have a great sense of smell. They can
Mm.
smell you from 6 miles away.
Whoa.
Cows have best friends.
Oh, they're so cute. And now I'm just looking at pictures of cows. They're adorable.
And I'll do one last quick rundown for everyone. Cows
Great.
originated in the Himalayas and in Turkey. Cows are 80% people. Cows have the same exact gestation period as people, except they have giant stomachs. And the world's oldest cow has lived for 48 years and was named Big Bertha. Thank you for joining us today for this Creature Corner all about cows.
Moo. This has been
Moo.
Kit.
Moo, moo, moo. And Jordan.
Sisters, lovers of stars and stories.
And we'll see you next time.
On Story Time.